So Dave Tree, what's this? Just some new artwork?
Yeah, I made some new artwork. Hey guys, what's up? Check it out. Scott Brown does not support a woman's right to choose. Even though he says he supports a woman's right to choose, he really doesn't, because not only does he take campaign funding from radical right-wing anti-abortion groups that actually are linked to murder and bombings at abortion clinics all around the country, which pretty much means he's taking money from terrorists, homegrown terrorists, but he also refuses to allow federal funding for abortions. Yet, the last time I checked, abortion's legal. So why wouldn't you give federal funding to people that need it, like, let's say, for whatever reason, need to get an abortion? I mean, I'm the last one that wants abortion used as birth control. Okay? I'm the last person in the world. But if you look at these pro-life people that are so against abortion, they're also against contraceptives. They're also against all sorts of birth control, and they're also against sexual education. So what's the deal? Like, they expect abortions just to disappear overnight. They expect people to stop having sex, kids to stop having sex. It's like they teach them that they have to be pure at heart and don't have sex until they get married. But did they do that to themselves? I doubt it. I mean, look at this guy. He uses his own two daughters to be like, oh well, how dare they attack him on that? He supports a woman's right to choose, but that's just like a Republicans' women's rights to choose. It's like only their daughters have the right to choose, while the poor people that can't afford the abortions, that need the federal funding, can't get an abortion, so they can't have one, so they don't have a right to choose. It's like financial apartheid.
Okay.
That's it. So, all right, financial apartheid.
What else about Scott Brown? You're talking about.
All right. How about the basic idea of this country was like created on the idea that all men are created equal and have inalienable rights given to us by our Creator. Okay, is that just for Americans? I don't think so. I think that's a borderless idea. It's a borderless respect for when you're alive, for the rights you have and the rights to live. It's like that's not just for Americans. That was a concept that is for all humanity. And to say that we're cuddling and we're being easy on terrorists before they're even tried and convicted of a crime of anything, what gives us a right to call them terrorists until they've been convicted of something? Like, if you picked up these guys on the battlefield, they're given to us by the Northern Alliance, they're put in Gitmo for years, they're not tried. How are we coddling them? What are they afraid of? The due process of law? As an American, I believe in due process. I believe in habeas corpus. Show the body. These people don't even want to show the body, but they want to lock people up, label them as a terrorist, and lock them up and then deprive them of a trial and due process of law. What are they afraid of? It's like, national security? Bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. You know? It's like our institutions where the idea that we are all created equal, that we have rights that can't be taken away, that are given us by a Creator, that can't be taken away from man, is totally ignored by the Republican Party when they say we can't give rights to these terrorists. It's like if they're convicted, they get convicted. If they don't get convicted, they don't get convicted. Everyone's right has a right to due process of the law. Or it's just fascism. Or it's just that they can lock anybody up, never charge anybody, label anybody as anything, and you'll be locked. That's it. You'll never be seen again. That's pretty much how the Nazis did it. And now they're saying like, we're going to be easy on terrorists if we're going to put them on trial for 9/11. What are they afraid of? Like, maybe they're afraid of the Republicans' use of torture. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's the use of waterboarding that they're so afraid of being called out on, to show you how it actually doesn't really work, and how waterboarding has been classified as torture for over 100 years. Yet Scott Brown doesn't believe that it's torture. But how convenient. What is it, political amnesia? Really? He's just marching along to the Republican Party's mantra of their propaganda. And it's not what we need here in Massachusetts, and it's not what we need here in the United States of America. Vote Martha Coakley tomorrow, January 19th. It's a Tuesday. And encourage all your friends to do so too. And don't be intimidated by the Scott Brown bullies, because that's what they do. They're out there yelling and screaming. They're being bullies. They're trying to intimidate you. They're trying to use Ku Klux Klan tactics at the polling stations, where they intimidate people that they disagree with from voting. It's a Republican. That's what they do. They try to get people. They try to intimidate black people from voting for years, and now they're trying to prevent people from voting like their conscience.
Yep. I look back at Jefferson. Jefferson was a person for liberty. He was a Republican. What do you think Thomas Jefferson would think about Scott Brown?
You know what? Scott Brown served the country, and it's an honorable act. But that doesn't mean that he should be senator. And I think Jefferson would look at like some of the things that this guy says, and it's just like, wow. When the government gets too big and steps on the rights of the people, the tree of liberty is nurtured by the bloods of tyrants and patriots alike. And that guy is not a patriot. That's what he would think. I have all these. I put up some stuff on MySpace saying how I supported Coakley, and I immediately got like a bunch of like fuck yous and fuck Coakley, and you're a fucking traitor, and someone's gonna get shot. That's what we're doing.
They're threatening you.
No, they're not threatening me. I'm like, who's gonna get shot? I was just wondering, But it comes back, they don't respond to me with like who's gonna get shot. But like, I've listened to these teabag people, Tea Party people, teabag people, and they imply assassination. They imply physical and violent overthrow of the government because we're going socialist, which is a hogwash. Because as a left-wing leaning labor populist person myself, who like I vote for what's good for my community and what's good for the people of this country. Before I vote for what's good for myself, I believe that that's what they're. I believe we're at a really, really, really crazy time in our country when they've turned our political debate into nothing more than schoolyard bullying and slander.
All right. Well, let's smoke some weed and drink some beers, and we'll talk more about politics.
Oh, no, yeah, you kind of hit me. Well, you know what? It's like I'm all jazzed up.
I know you're ready to go. We just walked in the door, and Dave Tree's got it going. Scott Brown's under his skin, right?
No, it's not the Scott Brown guy personally. It's just this. He's part of this machine, this Republican machine that's trying to plow us all over. Like they have these teabag people out there saying no new taxes, no new taxes. Like what are they talking about? Obama was only going to tax the super rich, who have been getting tax cuts for the last 8 years during a war. The Republicans call it a death tax, but the death tax is actually just a tax to get money from the rich when at times at war to support these things. But these people don't want to pay taxes for anything, yet they want everything. Listen, you can't hide out in the suburbs forever.